Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I'm here. Well, obviously, you can tell this is quite a different setup to what I usually do because I'm joined here today by the excellent, the wonderful Nogami-san, the producer of Splatoon and Splatoon 2. And it's an absolute honor to be here, to say the least, to be able to talk to Nogami-san. And we're going to be talking a little bit about Splatoon, Splatoon 2, just generally an awful lot of Splatoon. And things are going to get a little bit more British as we go later on, and that's going to be entertaining, I think is the word to use. So, Nogami-san, thank you for joining me.
いえいえ、こちらこそお呼びいただいてありがとうございます。
You're very welcome. Splatoon 2 has had, to say the least, a bit of a, well, Splatoon as a whole, a meteoric rise in, well, not only over here that we've seen ourselves, but also in Japan. It's a big thing over here, but from what I understand, it's even bigger in Japan.
ありがとうございます。こんなにたくさんのお客さんに遊んでいただけるとは本当に発売する前には思ってなくて、本当に光栄です。
To what do you specifically attribute, what do you believe is the appeal that has really captured people's imaginations surrounding the Splatoon franchise?
いや、まあ僕たちもできるだけたくさんの人に遊んでほしいと思いながら作っていましたけど、こう、人がプレイしている様子を後ろで見て、ちょっと僕も触ってみたい、一緒に遊びたいって思っていただけるような割とゲーム内容になったなと思いますし、まあそういったことを割と、ユーザー、プレイヤーの皆さんも理解しておられて、割とこう、いろんな動画サイトであるとか、SNS とかで、このゲーム面白いよ、こんな風に遊んでみるといいよっていうのをこう、いろいろ共有していただけたことが結構多くのプレイヤーに広がった要因かなというふうには思っています。
And the appeal goes beyond just the games as well. From what I understand in Japan, there is an awful lot of really great merchandise out there surrounding Splatoon, which is something that hasn't happened. It's happened to a degree over here, but over in Japan, I believe it is really everywhere.
そうですね。確かに。やっぱり僕たち、もちろんゲームを楽しんでる間も、ゲームを実際に遊んでる間もゲームを楽しんでいる時間なんですけど、そのゲームの外にいるとき、ゲームを遊んで触れていないときでもそのゲームのことを考えていたり、まあゲームに関係するものに触れたりするときもやっぱりゲームを楽しんでいる時間だと思いますので、そういう体験をユーザーの皆さんに提供できるようにいろいろ努力をしてきました。
And well, although we don't have, say, as much merchandise surrounding Splatoon over here, what we do have is currently at the V&A is Splatoon is part of an exhibit there. I believe you're excited to see that.
そうですね。本当に歴史のある V&A 博物館で、スプラトゥーンを取り扱っていただける、ゲームをまず取り扱っていただける、そしてその中でスプラトゥーンを選んでいただいて、展示していただけるというのは本当に光栄なことで、なんていうか、僕たちやっぱりゲームっていうのは、すごくいろいろなプロセスを経て、いろいろ、もちろんゲームのデザイナーや、アーティストがいろんなことを考えて、プロセスを経て完成させているんですけど、そういったプロセスを経て、作られているものだっていうことを、しっかりその V&A の方が理解をしてくださって、そういう内容で展示をしてくださっているので、本当にゲームに対してすごく理解をしていただいてますし、ちょっと僕らのそういう過程をしっかり紹介していただけるっていうのは結構僕らの苦労が報われたなっていう感じもあって非常に嬉しいです。
And of course, you know, coming back to the game itself, you know, the actual, you know, Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch. We've got at the time of this interview, we've got the Splatoon 2 Championships happening in Birmingham at MCM at the NEC, and I believe you're going to be attending as well.
そうですね。イギリスの大会の方にも参加させていただきます。イギリスのコミュニティが割とスプラトゥーン1の頃からイギリスにはすごく熱いコミュニティがあって、たくさんのファンの方が支えてくださっていたこととか、スプラトゥーン2になってそれがさらに広がって、たくさんのプレイヤーが大会に参加してくださっている様子っていうのも、時々ちょっとネットの方でも拝見してましたので、今回初めて実際に参加できるので非常にワクワクしています。
And I believe you've been in the UK for a short period of time now. How have you been finding just the UK in general in your time here?
そうですね。イギリスは僕、なんて言いますか、もともと結構イギリスの音楽が好きだったりして結構憧れを持ってたんですけど、実際来てみて本当になんていうか伝統があって歴史があっていい場所だなって思います。
Speaking of tradition, have you had much of a chance to sample the local delicacies? as much as they are.
いえ、そうですね。まだちょっとそんなにたくさんいろいろなものは食べてはいないですね。
Well, that's about to change.
おう。スコーンですね。
Oh, you know. Oh, excellent.
Yes,
Yes, well, please go ahead.
スコーンは最近日本でもメジャーなんで、いただいたことあります。
Oh.
本場のスコーンいただくの初めてですけど、美味しいですね。
Ah, I see. How do you like it?
ちょっとジャムが欲しくなりますけど。
Jam and clotted cream is traditional. But the order is something of contention.
なるほど。僕は多分ジャム派だと思います。
No.
おう。
Now this is, well, these are custard creams, which are a very traditional and very common British biscuit, and nobody really knows, well, at least I don't, where they started.
日本にもこういう形のビスケットはあるんですけど、これはいただいたことないです。おいしい。美味しいですね。なんか模様も凝っていて、なんか綺麗ですね。
It's very important. They all look the same, and I don't know why.
おう。
This is Battenberg.
バッテンバー。
Battenberg.
初めて見ました。
Despite its name does sound quite German, but we've just checked, and it does come from the United Kingdom originally, so it's okay. We're still on point. We're still on brand. Yes?
意外と硬い。割とこう酸っぱいというか、フルーツのような味がしますね。はい。ジャムかな？
It's been a long time since I've had Battenberg. I can't remember what's in it.
外側がカリカリしてて、中がこう、美味しいですけど、紅茶が欲しくなりますね。
Well, I'm sure we could rustle something like that up. Half a cup of tea. Another half a cup of tea.
Thank you.
And now the milk. Now this is something of contention because I personally don't actually like milk in tea. I don't have tea that often, but when I do, I have it black as we see here. And I believe Nogami-san is the same, as we had a discussion about it briefly beforehand.
僕はなんかこう、なんていうか、こういった甘いお菓子食べるときはミルクなしで飲んで、紅茶だけで楽しむときはミルク入れたりしますね。
Very sensible. Shall we try it both ways? One with, one without?
甘いお菓子が合いそうですね、やっぱり。
Excellent. And now, perhaps we could dabble in the fateful art of milk.
僕は結構たっぷり入れることが多いですね。ミルク入れるなら。
I don't really care for milk in tea, but it's sort of the tradition. You know, it's sort of like milk and 2 sugars for some reason, but sugar's even worse than milk.
いやでもこれはこれで美味しいですね。ほう。なるほど。日本にもなんかこれに似たようなものは売ってるんですけど、味が違うんですかね。
I hope not. I don't like spam.
このまま食べるよりは焼いて食べたりすると美味しそうですね。
Yes, very true, very true.
ただこれがイギリスのものだっていうのは知りませんでした。
There is sort of a deep connection with a series called, well, a series, an entire sort of ideal called Monty Python, where it features prominently. So what we have here, this is a Scotch egg, which is a boiled egg, a hard-boiled egg, surrounded in sausage meat, as is expected of hard-boiled eggs, and then coated in breadcrumbs and then deep fried.
僕も実はこのスコッチエッグよくうちの母がたまに作って食べてたんで馴染みが意外とあるんですけど、確かにスコッチっていうからにはイギリス発祥なんですよねって今思いました。
Ooh, actually, that's an interesting little fact that I know. The Scotch egg does not actually originate from Scotland. It originates from England. Fortnum and Mason were the first, which is a big shop in London for anyone who doesn't know. A little bit like Harrods, but smaller. And that it was first developed there. And I don't know why I know that.
なるほど。いや、あんまりスコッチ関係ないんですね。
No.
すごく馴染みのあるというか味ですね。なんか懐かしいです。家でもたまに料理を作るんですけど、僕が作るときは中にもっとちっちゃいうずらの卵を入れます。で同じぐらいの大きさのトマトとかチーズとかを中に具に入れて、外から見たら何かわからないフライを作ります。自分ではロシアンスコッチエッグって呼んでる。
Excellent.
何が当たるかわかんないみたいなやつですね。 お、これは何ですか？
This is something called haggis, which you may have heard of, but I would like to tell you what makes up a haggis after you've tried it. I'd like to get a genuine reaction to the flavour rather than a sort of a primed idea of what it is from what it actually is.
おお、ちょっと怖いですね。ん？何やろこれ。なんかもしかしたら変なもの食べさせれてないようなと思うんですけど。
It's not so much strange in the traditional sense. Well, some people might say it is, but what it basically is hearts, lungs, and liver boiled in a sheep's stomach.
原料がお肉。
I believe there are also oats in it as well. I've never made it myself, but I do believe that there are a couple of other sort of grains and things, maybe barley, I think, in there as well. But the thing that people remember is the offal.
これはみんな大好きなんですか？
Quite a lot of people really like it, but there are a lot of people that are very put off by what it actually is. Sort of offal is something that's not very fashionable at the moment, but in a time of plenty like now, whilst I suppose traditionally people would have just eaten it and made the most of it, because that was what was available. And I really like it.
はい、日本でも好き嫌いがありそうで、僕も嫌いではないんですけど、あんまりたくさんは食べれないですね。やっぱりドリンクが欲しくなりますね。
That's fair enough. Traditionally, you'd have whiskey, specifically Scotch whiskey, and this is something that people will fairly often have on Burns Night, because haggis itself is from Scotland, although that's also probably something that somebody could contend in the comments.
Cool.
Right, so these are baked beans, which I believe are haricot beans, off the top of my head, in a, well, as the brand here that I'm not going to mention says, in a rich tomato sauce.
なるほど。なんでしょう。メキシカンにチリビーンズっていうのがあるんですけど、チリビーンズからチリを抜いたやつみたいですね。
Yeah, they are very similar in some regards. We've got them here, and I just want to double check. Yes, they are cold. Typically people do warm them up, but there's this idea in Britain that it's a very sort of student thing to have cold baked beans because they're very cheap, affordable, and relatively nutritious.
美味しいんですけど、これ一缶全部は結構きついですね。食べるのは。何かパンとかと一緒に食べたりするんですかね、これは。
Yes. In fact, very traditionally, beans on toast again is a very sort of typical British thing. You just have a couple of slices of toast, butter them, pour some hot beans on top, and again you've got a very cheap and arguably nutritious meal. Well, there we are, Nogami-san. I hope you enjoyed a little taste of the United Kingdom. Did you enjoy everything that you had, or at least some of it?
なんていうか、意外と美味しくいただきました。
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
じゃあここでちょっと僕の方からも一つご紹介したい日本の食材があります。
Ooh. Am I right in thinking that this is dried squid?
Yes. スプラトゥーンに出てくるキャラクターのキャプテンカトルフィッシュ。彼は日本では当たり目っていう名前なんですけど、名前の由来が。
Right.
はい。どうぞ。
I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna go for a tentacle because go big or go home. There we go. That's good stuff.
どうですか？
It's quite nice.
お、
Yeah.
いいです
I
ね。
really like that actually. Yeah. It is pretty much what you'd expect. It tastes like a sort of a dried meat, but squiddy. Which is what it is. I'm gonna have another bit actually. I really like that. Oh, he's lost his head a bit. I'll try a little bit of this.
上も、はい、下も。基本的にやっぱりなんかお酒を飲みながら食べることが多いんですけど、子供のおやつとしても食べたりします。
So you might have this with a glass or a cup of sake.
あ、そうですね。お酒本当に日本酒とはものすごくよく合います。
Excellent. Slight spiciness in there as well. It's genuinely, it's really nice.
あ、よかったです。はい。結構 グロテスクなんで好き嫌いあるんですけど。
I can understand. There would probably be if sort of you showed it to a lot of people. I imagine there might be quite a lot of contention. People are often put off by this sort of thing, probably just because it's something they don't recognize. But I really like my food, and I'm always up for trying something new. And I've now had something new, and that's made my day. And now that I've had my first taste of a dried inkling, I just want to say thank you again to Nogami-san. Thank you so much for coming along, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked this particularly unusual video, then why don't you slap that subscribe button with a bit of dried squid, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.